Tonight on CTV News at 11:30. Sault Ste. Marie investigators are looking at an area of Trunk Road after a body is discovered. Plus, the province is coming through with cash for the Sioux for American tariffs.
Now that market is much more volatile and much less certain, you need to look for other markets.
City officials right now busy meeting with investors and attracting new business. And a lot of us still dealing with flood warnings, so rain is not going to help.
In my basement, I was up to 4 feet of water in my basement.
We'll have the latest on what Mother Nature is doing to the north.
CTV News at 11:30 with Ian Campbell and Rick Wyman with weather.
Good evening. Thanks for staying up with us. One person has died following a fatal crash in Sudbury. Provincial police say the single vehicle collision happened around 2:50 this morning along Highway 69 at the Highway 17 bypass. The 42-year-old female driver suffered serious life-threatening injuries and later died in hospital. Police closed the southbound lanes between the west and eastbound off-ramps for the investigation, but the road reopened just before 10 a.m. Sault Ste. Marie police aren't saying much at this stage about a death investigation in the city. They'll only say detectives are looking into a death in the 1200 block of Trunk Road. Police have been out there for the better part of the day, at one point flying a drone. CTV News is following this developing story. We'll bring you more information as it becomes available. Breaking news tonight, an Ontario provincial police officer has been killed in a crash in the line of duty. The police force says one of its officers died this afternoon in a crash on Highway 401 in the town of Cobourg. The officer was pronounced dead at the scene after a single vehicle motorcycle crash. The officer's name has not been released while the force notifies next of kin. We're following this and we'll bring you the latest as it continues to develop. Sault Ste. Marie's strategy for developing or dealing with American tariffs just got a cash infusion from the province. City officials are meeting with possible investors with the money announced today aimed at bringing more business to the city. CTV's Corey Nordstrom reports.
While visiting the Sioux, Ontario's Minister of Economic Development provided 500,000 ways to combat tariffs in the city. The $500,000 investment from the province's Trade Impacted Communities program will support the municipality's foreign direct investment strategy.
It's so easy. You cross the river, fill your order book and come home. It's just too easy. But it's been too easy for too long, and now we're paying part of the price for it.
Now that market is much more volatile and much less certain, you need to look for other markets to be able to diversify your trade, help local businesses find new customers in regions that are not to our immediate south.
Shoemaker says the foreign direct investment strategy will allow for better communication with companies from across the globe on the benefits of doing business in the Sioux, including site visits related to industries such as steel or forestry. And with Fidelity in town, the Sioux mayor adds that he couldn't pass up the opportunity to speak on another job creator, the Port of Algoma.
We see it as the foundational piece to helping companies have the infrastructure here that they need in order to be able to grow. It's what's been missing, I would say, for a long time. We have highway access, we have rail access, and there is private port access, but not public port that is equally accessible to all.
Today's funds are part of nearly $30 billion the province has outlined for tariff relief. Fidelity points out that what's most important is settling the trade dispute with the United States, noting the Ford government's support for the work done by the Prime Minister.
We have input wherever we can. We talk about the auto sector, we talk about steel, we talk about aluminum, we talk about lumber, we talk about copper, all the areas that are heavily tariffed. We feed into the federal government our statistics of the pain that it's causing.
Corey Nordstrom, CTV News, Sault Ste. Marie.
Effective Friday, the Social Services Board in the District of Nipissing will deliver homeless outreach services. This comes as True South winds down to focus more on First Nation members who live on and off reserve. CTV's Eric Tashner reports.
After True South Homeless Outreach Service announced it was pulling out of the city, the Social Services Board began looking for its successor. Now it's decided to take control itself.
It literally forced our hand. It's probably one of the most important services that we we actually provide in the downtown core.
The board decided a direct delivery is the most practical approach to make sure outreach support continues. Due to budgeting constraints, DSAB says services may not look exactly the same as before, and hours will be limited from 8 to 4:30.
It has a lot to do with basically labor agreements that force overtime after those hours.
Outreach services will be delivered to the homeless through a revised model designed to improve coordination, strengthen health integration, and continue collaboration with community partners. Community paramedicine outreach will play a key role, working alongside staff and community partners, supporting early intervention and help individuals connect more easily with follow-up services. One of the 10 outreach clinics will be at Suswin Village every other week.
A lot of my residents don't have family doctors, so that helps them if they're sick.
The core focus is to build trust, assess needs, and connect individuals to essential resources like food, shelter, healthcare, and social supports.
Residents that we have in the house are like from North Bay, and they have to be in the community for at least 3 months, usually coming off the streets or coming from out of the jail system or the recovery home detox.
DSAB says the outreach service mandate is to engage and support homeless people by meeting them where they are, both physically and in terms of their readiness for assistance. Eric Tashner, CTV News, North Bay.
The Canadian Coast Guard was in Parry Sound today as crews took to the water to practice emergency response techniques ahead of the busy boating season. CTV's Mike Lang has more tonight from Parry Sound.
Coast Guard 04 on channel 82 Alpha, over.
According to the Canadian Coast Guard, it responded to more than 1,200 search and rescue cases on the Great Lakes last year, which means crews need to be ready for the unexpected.
One particular call I had was the last day of the season. We're getting ready to pack up, getting ready to go. It's our last night, and we get called out at 3 a.m. for a sailboat.
Victoria, BC's Hilary Beauvais is a search and rescue officer for the Arctic region and is one of the lead instructors for this year's Coast Guard training in Parry Sound, one of 7 similar programs across the country.
I think it's important that we bring the crews up to speed and we ensure that they meet that standard, so if something does happen on the water, that the public can rely on them.
The nearly 40 trainees are being put through a gauntlet of life and vessel-saving skills.
From basic boat handling skills, navigational skills, all the way to the advanced topics such as heavy weather boat handling, search and rescue patterns, recovering people from the water.
100 feet off their bow!
Monday's exercises included blind docking and towing. Trainees had to carefully tow the larger Cambrian vessel into the Parry Sound dock.
They're practicing this because there are times when they have to tow another vessel and bring it alongside.
Jay Ham is in her 3rd year of training, assuming more of a leadership role for young recruits.
You'll be leading your crew, and you don't expect your crew to know everything. You're the one that is expected to know absolutely everything on the boat.
The group including 13 rookies who were selected from several hundred applicants.
It's been really fun. They're keeping us busy, but honestly, I couldn't think of a better way to spend my last 3 days and the beginning of my summer break.
The group will train for just over 2 more weeks, where they will continue practicing navigation, first aid, and vessel maintenance. Once they finish, they will get deployed in the Great Lakes for 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off throughout the summer. Mike Lang, CTV News, Parry Sound.
Conservation Sudbury says while water levels have receded in some areas, they are rising in others. As CTV's Elena Everson tells us, the Onaping River in the area of Dowling is a concern, along with the lower Vermilion River.
The city confirms it has sandbagged 2 wells on Riverside Drive in Dowling as a precaution to protect the physical assets. Also to support continued delivery of water to the community. Conservation Sudbury says it's keeping a close eye on Dowling.
We are watching Dowling for sure. Lots of the town of Dowling is actually in the floodplain, and so we're keeping an eye on the Onaping River and how it reacts to the rain that's forecast.
Conservation Sudbury says the Junction Creek and Whitson River systems have declined.
They may rise a little bit with this coming rain. Onaping remains high, and we're watching it very closely, and the lower parts of the Vermilion River remain high and are flooding into certain areas, and we're watching that very closely as well with this coming rain.
Meanwhile, in Chelmsford, flooding has receded on Boulanger Street. This homeowner says the aftermath is just as bad as the flood.
In my basement, I was up to 4 feet of water in my basement. So everything went. I lost everything that was in there. I have well over $150,000 damage.
Shelley Few says she took immediate action, sparked by health concerns.
Right now, we're having to do everything on our own because we're not getting any answers from our insurance company. And right now, it's a health hazard to live with the mold and the stench and the rotten food in the basement.
Conservation Sudbury says it will update the flood situation midweek, with rain in the forecast and as the northern snowpack continues to melt. Alana Everson, CTV News, Sudbury.
The Ministry of Natural Resources is reminding those in the far north that a flood warning remains in effect. The warning is going to last until Wednesday. They're advising residents in both Moose City and Moose Factory to keep a close eye on river conditions, with rain amounts between 5 and 15 millimeters today and another 5 to 15 millimeters tomorrow, and gusty wind conditions. It's not favorable. They add more updates will be provided when appropriate. Meanwhile, the Mattawa River in Mattawa continues to rise. The town has been constructing a solid rock berm along Mattawa Street in hopes of keeping the water at bay. Phase 1 is expected to be complete by tomorrow. Should the river rise more, the berm will be elevated accordingly. In response to tomorrow's rain, authorities are predicting Mattawa could see water levels at or above the major threshold in the next few days. The municipality of French River put a call out for volunteers over the weekend, and it seems the community answered. More than 24 showed up to help sandbag through Saturday afternoon. There was everyone from residents, high school students, the deputy mayor of Marks Day Warren, and our own director Lillian Pakula and myself. Fire officials estimate more than 2,000 sandbags were filled in the 4-hour time slot. Some nervous about what water could be released out of Lake Nipissing. Water is continuing to run high through the community, which is hoping for more sunshine in hopes those waters start to recede. Well, time now for a short break here on CTV News. Coming up, Rick will have your full weather forecast. For now, look at the rain forecast. And this is quite frankly what communities like French River don't want to see. We have rain on the way. Let's see if the system will cooperate with me. There we go. By Tuesday mid-afternoon, we're going to start seeing a system move into the region. 24 millimeters in Greater Sudbury, 15 in Parry Sound, 45 in Elliot Lake. Take a look at that. There is a lot of rain moving through here, and then that is going to continue through Wednesday morning. It's going to be pretty waterlogged. I'm guessing somewhere between 20 and 25 in French River, which is under that state of emergency that we were talking about. Those are the current conditions as we see them. 9 degrees in Kapuskasing, 13 in Timmins, 10 in Timiskaming Shores. We're starting to see some shower activity already in Wawa, Sault Ste. Marie, and Chapleau. We'll have details after the break.
When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400 from your screen to ours. Text 10400.
Hope you enjoyed the day. We've got a wet day coming up for tomorrow. As you can see, forecast radar as issued by Environment Canada. That system moving in some cases, Sault Ste. Marie, Wawa, Chapleau, and other locales already wet as a result of the precipitation tonight, and that will continue into tomorrow as well. So again, sunny skies that you enjoyed in the last couple of days, well, it's all, for all intents and purposes, over. 7-day forecast, Sudbury Nickel Belt, showers tomorrow, 10 to 15 millimeters, 5 millimeters overnight, by the way. 11 your high. Wednesday, some cloud cover and 7. Chance of sleet on Thursday, 6 your high. 5 degrees Friday, sun and cloud. Chance of sleet Saturday and Sunday, not too warm, 3 and 7 your daytime highs, and far below normal. Sault Ste. Marie, Algoma, showers tomorrow, 5 to 10 millimeters, 8 degrees your expected high. 6 on Wednesday, sun and cloud. Chance of sleet Thursday, Friday, some sun and cloud, 6 degrees your high. 5 on Saturday, sun and cloud, and the chance of sleet on Sunday also at 6. Your temperature is below normal as well. How about Timmins, Cochrane, Kapuskasing? Showers tomorrow, 10 to 15 millimeters at 12, your daytime high. 5 on Wednesday with the chance of sleet Thursday. Also 2 degrees your daytime high. Friday, some cloud cover, a rather dismal week in the area. Only 1 your high, chance of sleet Saturday and Sunday. 4 and 6, your daytime highs. Normally, you should be sitting at around 12 for this time of the year. That's not happening. Temiskaming Shores and Kirkland Lake, showers tomorrow 10 to 15 millimeters at 13. Cloud cover for 3 consecutive days, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 6, 5, and 4. Gradually getting cooler. Saturday, Sunday, chance of sleet at 30%. 3 your high on Saturday, 7 on Sunday. Normally, you should be sitting at 13. Forget about that. North Bay and West Nipissing, showers tomorrow 10 to 20 millimeters, 11 your high. Cloud cover Wednesday at 8, sun and cloud Thursday at 7. Friday, more sun and cloud at 5, which is not too bad, at least for 2 days. Chance of sleet for a couple of days, Saturday and Sunday. Daytime highs 3 and 7. Ian, I certainly hope you enjoyed your weekend. That's about to change as you drive home tonight with rain in the forecast and rain, some wet weather for the next couple of days. Back to you.
I got my umbrella. Thanks, Rick. We know spring has arrived in Ontario, but winter-like conditions, as Rick was mentioning, are still strong in parts of Algonquin Provincial Park. Park staff say lake conditions vary wildly, with some parts ice-free and others partially covered or containing floating ice. As a result, backcountry camping for paddlers and backpackers remains closed. Visitors are told to expect difficult conditions on trails, including mud, slush, and possible downed trees following winter storms. Ontario is fast-tracking the Red Lake transmission line in the Northwest and launching a new hydroelectricity program. Officials say the program will help power mining, create jobs, and drive economic growth in the north.
And I'm very proud to be here as we build an economy that I think we could leave a legacy for our children and grandchildren. At the core of our energy expansion and our economic expansion is we need clean, reliable power.
Minister Stephen Lecce says the transmission line will power new mines and strengthen the economy. He adds this step will employ more than 5,800 people and unlock $830 million in economic potential. The town of Iroquois Falls will be getting $20 million from the province for the repair and remediation of Monteith Road. A post on its Facebook page outlines how the money is coming from the provincial government. Iroquois Falls says the project will also include a full repair of the recent slip failure that took place on the road. The phase project is expected to span between 3 to 4 years. Engineering and culvert replacement will begin this summer. Dates have been announced by the Ontario Land Tribunal to hear a $12.2 million claim related to the construction of the Maley Drive extension in Sudbury. The extension opened in November 2019 and cost an estimated $80 million, with the budget shared equally between city, province, and the federal governments. However, Dalron Construction claims that the city not only built part of the extension on land the company owned, it also used 445,000 cubic meters of blast rock from the property without Dalron's permission. The company is seeking $5 million for added expenses to develop the area and $6.6 million for the loss of the blast rock, in addition to other damages. It should be noted that none of the claims have been tested in court. The Ontario Land Tribunal will hear the case over 5 weeks, beginning April 6, 2027. Still ahead tonight on CTV News. They had one job tonight, defend the throne. So how did Sudbury's professional basketball team do? We'll show you more from the Sudbury Arena after this. The Sudbury Five had one job tonight, defend the throne, and they did just that. But what a nail-biter. A back and forth fourth quarter, it would come down to a mere basket. But when Sudbury took the lead, fans almost brought the roof down on the old Sudbury Arena, trailing at 1 point by 2 games. The Five come on strong in the end to overtake the Titans. This best-of-5 series will now take a Game 5 as Sudbury wins tonight 100-97. Game 5 will be Wednesday night in the KW, where everything will be put on the line. The winner takes it all. Those on both sides of the court telling us tonight this is anyone's championship now.
Now, ain't no advantage right now. It all gonna come down to what team won it more, who executes better, and who plays the most consistent for 48 minutes.
It is amazing. I love the energy, the dynamics that the young men brought to the court, and the one thing that I really like is that they respected one another and played with integrity, and that says a lot about both teams.
Like we said, we were down 0-2, we could have gave up, and but that's just not our identity. That's not what the Sudbury community is about. We're going to fight to the end, and that's what we're going to do.
Yeah, I don't think I've mentally realized we won yet. I'm still stressed out a little bit about it. super happy, super proud of the guys, ready to carry that momentum to Game 5.
A great game. Congrats. Well, we're getting our first look at how the newly renovated Rogers Arena will look once the city of Elliot Lake is done with renovations. In the latest update, City Council has been told repairs at the arena remain on budget and on schedule. Installation of the new knee braces are now complete, while the shoring towers, which were in place to support the roof, are being removed. Work will now start on replacing the concrete apron surrounding the ice pad to allow for the floor to be properly compacted and leveled for new rink boards. Renderings show how the final product could look. Crystal Shawanda of Manitoulin Island is returning to Northern Ontario this week. The Juno-nominated singer-songwriter is bringing her new sound to Sudbury. CTV's Amanda Hicks tells us more.
For Crystal Shawanda, the last 3 years have been good, bad, and everything in between. Growing up in Wigwamkong unceded territory and now living in Nashville, she says a lot of life inspired her Juno-nominated album, Sing Pretty Blues.
We were, just starting the process of recording this album when my longtime manager and agent, Rob Patty, passed away, and someone who I worked with for 14 years, which is like a lifetime in the music business. So it was a lot to take on, a lot to process. And then, also having loved ones who are fighting addiction and, loving someone who's going through that. When I'm clean, I still feel dirty.
That pain is evident in the song Dirty. Written about the cycle of healing and addiction, the track took on a new meaning when Shawanda's nephew passed away just a month after its release.
I went to a place where he played as a little boy, and I sang the song over and over again and made peace with everything, and I let him go, and I put that emotion into the video. It was a very simple video, but very sincere, genuine, and honest. Not a bunch of bells and whistles. It was just about me dealing with my grief and me coming back to who he really was, because our loved ones are more than their struggles.
Shawanda will be bringing that raw honesty to Sudbury with her husband, Dwayne, and their 9-year-old daughter, Jaja, by her side. Jaja even lent her vocals to the title track and will be releasing her own music later this year.
We're watching her bloom and evolve as an artist herself and as a performer, and it's quite exciting to watch, to have those front row seats as a parent.
Shawanda says she is already working on new music. She and her family will be performing here at the Knox Hall this Friday, with a portion of the proceeds going to the Sudbury Food Bank. Amanda Hicks, CTV News, Sudbury.
Finally for us tonight, they're back. Smile cookies are now being served up at Tim Hortons across the country. Details from CTV's Lindsay Alick in Sudbury.
From Howler and Growler to Pure Country's Josh and Coop, community partners in Sudbury came together to launch the Spring Smile Cookie campaign.
The community comes out strong. We are really, really lucky, and we have such great community supporters. We have the police services, we have HSN, we have the food bank, telethon, the Lions Club. It's awesome, and they all come out and support us.
Proceeds from the cookies sold at Sudbury locations this week will go to support the CTV Lions Children's Christmas Telethon, HSN Foundation, and the Sudbury Food Bank.
What this means for people living in Northeastern Ontario is better access to equipment, better access to research, and so every time somebody buys a cookie, they're supporting healthcare in their communities.
If it wasn't for the Smile on Cookie, we cannot do the telethon without their help and assistance. Many children, many faces will be smiling Christmas morning when they get the toys because of the help of the Tim Hortons restaurants in the Sudbury area.
Curry says the money raised through the Smile Cookie campaign accounts for 30 to 35% of the total raised telethon night.
Last year, over 10,000 family. This year, I'm not going to say anything, but we're ready for it. Anyway, we're ready for it to do the same as last year. All the Lions clubs in the Sudbury area, they're more than happy to do it.
This year marks 30 years for Smile Cookies, which are sold for $2 each, with 100% of the proceeds donated to local charities and community organizations. They're only available for purchase until Sunday. Lindsay Alick, CTV News, Sudbury.
Delicious. That takes us to the end of our newscast this Monday night. For the latest news anytime, remember you can head to our website, ctvnewsnorthernontario.ca. You can also download our CTV News app. Congrats to the Sudbury Five, and if you're in a flood zone or state of emergency, watch out for your neighbors. Until tomorrow, thanks for watching. Good night.